Today on Awakening with Amy, how to shift realities using the first secret of magic. Welcome, I'm Amy Valentine. This is Awakening with Amy, where we help awaken within you your ideal life so you can be, do, and have any reality. So, today we're going to talk about how to shift our reality using magic, really stemming from and inspired by a book I've been reading lately called The Magician's Way by William Whitecloud. And he has so many fabulous, tidbits about how to manifest and create your ideal life and what it really takes to be a magician. So first, I just want to say, before I get into the lesson, is the idea of what shifting realities means. Shifting realities is not about effort. It's not about struggle. It's not about pipe dreams. It's about understanding the fundamental nature of reality, that you exist in every potential reality right now. And now the physical mind is not going to grasp that, so don't even try. But understand, like Bashar teaches, you exist because non-existence is impossible. You cannot not exist. So you exist in all potential realities right now. And what you have a physical experience of, or what you manifest, only depends upon where you put your focus and your attention, what you're believing to be true about you, who you say you are, whether you're aware of it or not. So there's two realities that we live in any moment. We're living in our head, the reality of our thoughts, of our feelings, of the story we're telling ourselves, or we're living in the reality of our vision, of our ideal. And that vision is always expanding, always growing when we come from the identity of love. When we come from the identity based in fear, we're caught up in our thoughts. We're caught up in our feelings, trying to flip our thoughts, trying to feel better about a reality we no longer want. And we're literally shutting the door to the magic that's already there. Because he says the magician never identifies with their thoughts and their feelings. The magician identifies with the love of their desire. So, with that being said, let's read a quote from the book and then we'll get into the lesson. Your thoughts and feelings aren't real. Your thoughts and feelings are expressions of your underlying assumptions in any moment, not reflections of actual reality or what is truly possible. So when you identify with your story, with your thoughts and your feelings, when you identify with them as who you are, you can see why you're not shifting to the reality you prefer, because you're caught up, like we do. We get caught up in the story that we're telling ourselves, those thoughts, those feelings. And when we believe they're real, we can't see the alternate possibilities. We can't see the alternate reality, so we don't shift. We keep recreating the same old, right? So every emotion, every thought, they're just spokespersons for our underlying assumptions, the story we're telling about ourselves in relationship to everything else. That's all it is. So he's saying that the first secret to magic is to stop identifying with your thoughts and feelings. Identify with your vision. And how you do that is to go within to your heart and go all in on what you love. Understanding that what you're no longer wanting to live, you're wanting to shift identities because you no longer want what you're living, is to understand that within that contrast is the desire. He says you have to live amongst those unwanted thoughts, those unwanted feelings, those unwanted circumstances. Get to the point where you're just observing them, because they will show you your desire. They will tell you what you want, and what you always want beneath any desire, whether it's more money, more love, a relationship, a new job, a vacation, a new home, whatever the physical desire is, doesn't matter. He says what you really want is to know and express your true nature, which is the love that you are. Instead of trying to get the love through those things in life, he's saying, be that love by allowing yourself to dream. Instead of letting your thoughts and feelings dictate who you are. He said, if you don't just observe your thoughts and feelings long enough in that neutral zone, right, that 0 point zone, long enough to show you your story, what you're telling yourself in any moment, he says, you'll start trying to fix them. You'll try to resolve them, because that's what we were taught to do. We get uncomfortable about what we're thinking if it's a negative thought, and we start trying to fix it and trying to resolve it. And then we get stuck in the weeds. He calls it the swing circle between trying to fix ourselves, trying to fix our thoughts, and we keep swinging between desire and wanting and not having, just staying in that cycle of lack, right? So trying to feel better about any reality is you're literally trying to negate a version of you. And the idea is, when you focus on your ideal, when you focus on the love of who you are, you integrate all those identities. So you stop judging any one version of you, any one experience as worse or better or good or bad. You transcend that thinking when you can just observe your story and then go within to your heart and say, okay, what is my new vision of myself now? Because he said, if you focus on the end, meaning the fulfillment of your desire, the love of your desire, going all in and being it now, no matter what things look like, the magic kicks in within you, that natural ability to bring you everything you desire, the right people, the right circumstances, whatever, it takes you over that invisible bridge of incidents to the fulfillment of your dream. That's how the magic happens, when you trust your heart. But we are taught to shield our heart, to protect ourselves from loss. And when we do that, we're living in that reality in our head, of our thoughts, of our feeling, of trying to resolve and fix, and it never ends. Trust me, I know. Been there, done it, and it's exhausting. And that's how you know what you're assuming. When you assume, when you're exhausted, when you feel that negative emotion, that's showing you what you're assuming to be true about yourself. It doesn't feel good. When you assume you can dream, allow yourself to live from your heart, to follow your excitement, to follow your bliss, now that feels good. And it expands your consciousness to more of what you really are, right? So the way out of any mind chatter that feels negative, any circumstance or event, is not to judge it as negative, just as one potential reality that's always changing. You're new in every moment. The way out is to connect to the love of your desire, understanding, right, that contrast, what you no longer want, gave birth to a new vision, a new version of you, a new reality. But if you shut the door by trying to figure out how you're going to make that happen, now you're living in your doubts and your fears. You're not living from the end of your wish fulfilled. So let everything that is not connected to the love of your desire fall away. It will fall away naturally if you allow it to, if you don't get caught up in the weeds of how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this happen? When you stop letting your thoughts control your story, stop allowing your current circumstances to control your story, and you keep pointing back to your vision, you keep going all in on your heart, that natural ability, he said, just takes over. And that's how the magician lives, from their heart, not from their head, right? Your heart has a neural network just like your brain, but it's 10,000 times stronger than anything that can go on in your physical mind. That's why when you follow your passion with zero attachment to how it should show up, that magic just naturally bubbles up inside of you. So he says, this is what you do. If you want to live from your vision, live in the reality of your ideal, he said, number one, take the power away from your fleeting thoughts and feelings. They're temporary. They're just showing you assumptions. And assumptions aren't real. Thoughts and feelings aren't real. They're just ideas about reality. They're not reality. They're not showing you what is possible. And then he says, number two, go all in on what you love, be it, no matter what things look like. Let your dreams show you the next best version of you without having to try to figure out how to get it or when is it going to happen. Dare to assume that that identity is already here and now. That's what Neville says, right? Dare to assume it. And the 3D world will reflect that back to you immediately, because everything out there is a reflection of what's going on within you, right? So the love of your desire creates that magic, right? So take the power right now away from any thought, any feeling. Observe it, acknowledge it, and then drop it if it's not connected to what you love. Hold on to nothing, like A Course in Miracles says, right? It's that holding on, that attachment that creates the tension and the resistance and closes the door to your dream life. And then two, go all in on what you love. Tell yourself every day, I'm going all in. I am the source of my reality. I'm not seeking it out there. I'm living from my ideal reality right now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for your awesome comments. And thank you for subscribing. And until next week, I'll see you soon.